Welcome to Hear Here, the podcast where you get a VIP behind-the-scenes look at the broad collective of music venues and festivals that make Buffalo the music destination it is. I'm your host, Bentley. Today we visit the Asbury Arts Center. Plenty of music venues are considered spiritual places by musicians and fans alike. And the connection at Asbury Hall makes sense. 150 years ago, it was home to the city's Delaware Avenue Methodist Church. Now, it's a 1,200 capacity, multi-faceted performance and gallery space in the heart of the Queen City, long ago rescued by one of the region's most renowned musicians, DiFranco, and the venue's owner, Scot Fisher. Known to both locals and visitors by its longtime moniker, Babeville, we'll start the conversation by talking transformation and vision with the Vice President of Asbury Arts Center, Kapechuk. Hi, Anna. Thank you for talking to me today. Asbury Arts Center is such a great place. It started out, a lot of people know it as Babeville, but now it's expanded to Asbury Arts Center. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Oh, absolutely. So, Babeville, DiFranco helped save the building with Scot Fisher, who's the owner, and Babeville was where Righteous Babe Records was. So Ani thought it'd be cute to have all the babes in Babeville, like all the who's in Whoville. So we've opened up to more not-for-profit arts organizations who are our tenants now. Buffalo Chamber Players, Buffalo String Works, Hall Walls has been an anchor tenant since the beginning. Buffalo Philharmonic Chorus, Los Artistas del Barrio, and then we have two across the street with Starlight Studios and Planned Parenthood Teen Reality Theater. So Asbury Arts Center is really more indicative of what we are doing now and what we envision ourselves going forward doing. So
you are a true art center with that lineup. And you have two different performance spaces where you hold concerts where we're sitting right now, and this is Asbury Hall.
Asbury Hall.
And then you have the downstairs area.
The ninth ward, our little basement bar, yep. And technically there's a third, because Hall Walls has a little cinema in the basement as well, and they have jazz concerts down there, speakers and films, so there's 3 event spaces, 1 art gallery, and a bunch of not-for-profits.
So this space is, yes, it was originally a church, but it has become a spiritual place of music here in Buffalo, a very special spot that draws people in from outside the area. How can you explain the vibe here and what it feels like to be at a show here?
Oh, well, it's a beautiful room. Just every little aspect of the atmosphere is special. It has a lot of history, but it's also just eye-catching. And the church was always a place for the community to come together and celebrate. And it's the same spirit, it's just not religiously based anymore. It's artistically based.
Yeah. And you have such a range of artists at play here. I know even in talking before doing this, just talking about the shows I've seen here, everybody from, Vampire Weekend to smaller jazz shows to Americana shows. So what are some of the moments that have stuck out to you performance-wise that can maybe explain the scope of artists that come here?
My favorite shows, honestly, are the people who started in the ninth ward, because the ninth ward can fit a maximum of 150 people, and have moved upstairs to Asbury Hall, which can fit up to 1,200 if it's standing. And so, like, the milk carton kids first played in the ninth ward to like 11 people, and then packed Asbury Hall the next time they came here. Most recently, we had the Best from New Zealand. They're an amazing indie rock band. So I love them so much, and they played in the ninth ward twice, and they just came here and packed the house. It was beautiful. Same with Watchtower, used to be Mandolin Orange has done it. It's so fun to see these artists grow and the audience grow with them. And of course, there's the classics that are just once in a Joan Baez when she was here. That was just, you can't do better than Joan.
Yes. In this space. It's just a magical spot.
And the beauty of Joan also involves both rooms too, because Joan played upstairs and Grace Stumberg opened. And Grace was part of her touring party. So we had an after-show party in the ninth ward with Grace, and Grace was playing, and Joan came out and hung out and like played with her and hung out on the stage and just had a great time, and it was just one of those moments like, wow.
Yeah, I'm sure you've had a lot of those moments in this magical space. And how long have you been involved with this venue?
Oh, well, I moved to Buffalo 20 years ago this month, actually.
Wow,
yeah.
It's your anniversary. So when you first moved into this building, did it look like this? What work has gone into this space to preserve it?
Oh, well, they've done a ton. But when I first got here, it was still under scaffolding and everything it was a real construction area. But like any old house, we're always making improvements. So it's evolved a lot. The baffling on the walls for the sound, that has come up and really been tweaked in to make it a better sounding room, which now is beautiful. They repainted the place before we got to move in. So the paint and the colors and everything, all that's new. We have new chairs now. Everything's kind of changing little by little as we have the opportunity to make those changes or need to make a change because, things have to be fixed.
Yeah. Now, you're involved in so many parts of the venue, in booking and behind the scenes. Do you get any comments from artists about the space? Have you heard, what do they say about performing here?
Yeah, I think overall they seem to be very happy about this. It's a special room, it's not your black box theater. They feel it when they walk in, and they feel the care of the people who are here too, because, we were informed by an artist. We understand the artist's life on the road, so we want people who are coming in here to have a good time and feel comfortable and love the sound and want to keep coming back. Yeah. And we extend that to the patrons too, but I think the artists really feel that. So.
And I love that you refer to the venue as she.
Is there another way?
What are some of the things about this venue and the programming here that surround that and, why this venue was created in the first place?
Well, we do such a wide variety of programming. It's hard to say, we're looking for the best Americana, but we're looking for quality entertainment. Yes. Whatever it is, it could be a cover band. There are great cover bands out there. Mm-hmm. It could be original Americana, it could be punk rock, whatever. It could be great jazz, but whatever it is, we want it to be really good. And now we're getting into chamber music with the Buffalo Chamber Players and choirs, and that's an experience in this room. It's a beautiful thing, and we just want people to know that whatever, or comedy or speakers, if it is your thing, if it's the genre you're into, you take a chance, because it's going to be something worthwhile.
Yeah, it seems very curated, very specially curated, and it seems that you put a lot of thought into the quality and types of acts that you get here. And that's not always an easy job, right? There's a lot of venues out there. There's a lot of cities. There's a lot of places for artists to perform. How have you kept this venue going and relevant and thriving with all of these factors against you sometimes? It's
not easy, and without an amazing crew and people around you is just impossible. And one of the things that we do is we have a partner with DSP Shows that has relationships with booking agents all around. They're booking from Massachusetts through Ithaca all the way to us. So that's a huge help, and we're always talking about, these people are going out, what do you think, what can we do? So we also have a couple of really great relationships with Soul of Buffalo in town, brings in great blues. 26, we do shows with them. Yeah. So just having great relationships with the people who know the people who can make it happen, right? That's hugely important. It's everything.
How would you explain the community in Buffalo?
It's amazing. How to put it into words is going to be really hard. Yeah. It's not like, I was talking to somebody the other day, because there's the Music City. Buffalo is a music city. Mm-hmm. And when you say Music City, you think Nashville, you think Austin, you think New Orleans. But when you think Nashville, you think that's country. And if in New Orleans jazz, and they've got the very unique sound, and even Austin. But Buffalo, it's anything. any genre that you're into. If you like avant-garde jazz, you are in luck. You're going to find it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good. If it's blues, Americana, if you like hip-hop, like anything, you're going to be able to find it here. And that's so incredibly amazing. It's also harder to kind of put a pin in and say, this is where you need to be, but you'll find it here. Just look, we're here.
And you yourself have an impressive resume of shows you've been a part of here even before you were here. And what keeps you at this venue and in Buffalo? Because I know all the things you do, and I know there would be probably a lot of people that would love to have you. So what keeps you here in Buffalo and in this scene?
There's something about, being here from the beginning. I've so much heart and soul in this place, and I love everything that's gone into it. The people, the owner, everybody who's put their heart and soul into it, like they're in the right place.
Yeah.
They're the people that you want to work for because they truly believe in this vision. And that's so huge. It's really about touching people, the arts, and preserving this great piece of architecture and history. And, how can we expand it? How can we work with more arts organizations? How can we do more? And that's what I love. And if I'm going to live in a city, Buffalo's a good city.
Yeah. It's
got trees. You can see the sky. It's got, and I really think since I moved here 20 years ago, the arts have really brought up downtown. We have our sports. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves our sports. But people are coming out because they're going to see a show. They're going to a gallery. The number of galleries downtown.
Yeah.
Just the arts community in Buffalo is like nothing I've ever seen.
And you're adding to that. The programming here and the everything you've brought in as part of Asbury Arts Center is amazing.
Thank you.
I know you mentioned Joan Baez as a big moment here. Can you remember any aha moments, especially when you were first starting out here, where you're like, wow, we're doing this. This is happening. This is a thing.
Oh, I think I'd honestly have to say the year after we opened, Ani did 2 shows that sold out that were recorded and are available on DVD. And it was one of the first times that I saw the room 100% packed and like the full music thing happening, and just, wow. It was a moment.
And now here you are today contributing to that. And thank you for doing that and keeping this place alive. And we look forward to more shows here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. I loved the stories Anna recalled of bands who played the smaller Ninth Ward venue and then later went on to pack the main stage. For a closer look, next I sit down with local guitarist and Niagara Falls Music Hall of Fame inductee Bruce Wojick to talk about what makes the venue so special for musicians. Bruce, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today. You have quite the resume. You're in the Niagara Falls Music Hall of Fame. You've performed numerous times in Buffalo. You've been a part of different bands and duos, but you have played here.
Yeah.
How do you explain what it's like to play here at Asbury Hall?
It's wonderful. I mean, this place is just so great to perform, because even though it's a bigger room here in Asbury, and I performed in the smaller one downstairs, it's still personal. So you still get that vibe, with all the people. Just being close and getting that feedback that you do, with the, the band and the audience. So it's fantastic.
So how would you explain the difference between the two, Ninth Ward and Asbury Hall, and the importance of having both?
I mean, again, downstairs is so wonderful because it's such a, obviously a smaller venue. And I mean, when you perform downstairs, that is, if you're doing like a solo acoustic thing, or even if it's a duo or a full band, it gives you that vibe. Like, a lot of people that come and see us, me or some of the other things that I've done through the years downstairs, they always say it reminds me of the Cavern Club, like where the Beatles used to play. That's what I've gotten that so many times, and I totally get that kind of thing with the stone on the wall and stuff. But I mean, obviously, again, this room packed is just fantastic, and then downstairs, that intimacy that you get with a smaller room is just wonderful.
How would you explain the vibe, and how would you explain music fans that come here to see shows and your shows? What's the vibe you get from the audience?
Clubs are great, but a venue, they're coming for one reason, to listen to the music, see the artist, and enjoy the experience. And that's priceless.
Yeah.
It really is. I've been playing here for so many years with different projects. And I mean, Anna is almost like a sister to me, crazy. Been dealing with her for so long, and the people here are just wonderful. It's like they give you such a good plow to do what you do.
And this is a special space physically. It's a historic space. Mm-hmm. Do you take note of that when you're performing? Do you feel that?
I always think about things that sort of happened before me, in this space, and some of the experiences that happened before I got here. And you just have such a nice vibe. I'm using that word vibe a lot, but that's really what it is. Because as a performer, it's all about the vibe. Mm-hmm. So when you have a great plow and you get a great vibe, you just get to perform so wonderfully. And people don't realize that don't perform, that there's a lot of stuff that goes into giving a good performance. And, not to be prima donna-y, but
we don't get that impression of you.
Well, when there's a bunch of little things, mm-hmm. It could be some of the hospitality. It could be, the green room. All these little things just make for a great performance.
So you are part of the scene here in Buffalo, and you've seen a lot of performances here. You're part of the culture here. How would you explain the Buffalo music scene to somebody outside the area that's possibly coming here for a show or looking to Buffalo to come to see all of the great acts that we do get here?
It's changed a lot. I've been around quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 85 next week. So I've been taking multivitamins.
I was going to say, we'll talk about your skincare regime after this.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, Flintstones chewables. So I still do the Flintstones chewables, which, but it's changed a lot through the years, the scene here in Buffalo. It's a really rich community of musicians and artists. I think it changed a lot with the advent of the smartphone and again just the way that people make music and the way that people listen to music.
Yeah.
And nowadays, seeing a band live, that's like the last frontier. I mean, yeah, you can go to YouTube and see the band, you can do this and you do that, but the experience is still, you can't,
Yeah.
You got to have that experience. So years ago, it was different because you'd make a record and you'd maybe try to get a single on the radio or something like that. I mean, again, it's so different now, where the streaming world, and again, it's just all about playing live. But musical community here has always been just rich. It's been awesome.
So you've played a lot of different places and cities. How would you explain Buffalo as a music destination? Oh,
it's a great city to play. Great city to play. I mean, and everybody will usually pass through, And again, one of my favorite guitar players, Eric Johnson, he was here. He's been here numerous times, but just, again, a great town to play where people are just hungry to see the performers that they love. And yeah, it's just, Buffalo, I think, is a great, great town to play. And again, Los Angeles, New York, those kind of towns, always great. But, these smaller cities like Buffalo, not that much smaller, but considerably smaller. I think when artists come through, they really can feel the love for what they're doing.
And you mentioned seeing performers here that you enjoy, like Eric Johnson. So how does it feel when you see a performer that you look up to or that you enjoy, and then you're also performing on these same stages?
I've been lucky.
Yeah.
I've been lucky to be able to do that in different places. So that's just always cool. I always take stock of that before I play.
Yeah.
When it's one of those places, always take stock of that.
And with your resume and your name here, why is it important to keep venues like this going and to...
It's all we've got.
right? You have to preserve it.
It's all we've got. Mm-hmm. And so many great ones have come and went in all towns.
Yeah.
Not just Buffalo. I mean, again, I'm old enough to remember the Continental, where, oh my God, I mean, so many nights in the Continental, right? Just crazy. I was saying to somebody last week, like, things are a lot earlier now, just in general. Mm-hmm. Bands play early and end early. Way back, it was not like that. I remember the latest show that I was telling somebody the latest time ever we started was at 3:35 a.m.
Stop.
At the Continental. Yeah, it was like the latest I ever started with that particular band. But again, all through the country, there's these places. Like, I've been fortunate enough to, with a couple bands I've been in, to play CBGB. Yeah. And that's gone. Yeah. You know, and this amazing history rich place like that, you know. In Los Angeles too, great places like the Key Club, you know, are gone. These places that come and go, it's crazy.
And what do you think will help to keep places like this going and thriving and alive?
People coming to the show, and the people who own the venues that want to continue on and do what they do. I mean, I've been playing here, my God, it's 24 going on 25. I've been playing here for over 10 years. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just wonderful. I mean, again, I feel like this is home when I get to play here. Just wonderful.
Well, it's definitely a testament to you and your talent, because Anna
that's subjective, Bentley. That's subjective.
I mean, Anna did say she's very picky about the quality of performers she gets here, and since you've been on the bill, I think you must fall into that category.
So nice. You'll make me smile. That's great.
So thank you for talking to us today. We look forward to seeing you perform here more, and also probably at shows here.
Pleasure.
At Asbury Hall.
Absolute pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Bruce.
Pleasure, Bentley.
Awesome.
Take care.
I've been to many concerts at Asbury Hall, and Bruce talked about how musicians really can feel the love for what they're doing. The fans are a big part of that experience. Finally, we'll explore what a night inside the former church looks like with Buffalo musician and regular attendee, Sara Elizabeth. Sara, thank you for talking to us today. I know you're a fan of Asbury Hall, and I know you've been to shows here, so that's why we have you here, but you can actually talk about it in a variety of ways.
Lots of different perspectives.
Lots of different perspectives. Yeah. Do you remember your first show here, or when you were as a patron?
I don't, to be totally honest, but I've been coming here since I was a teenager, and that's what I remember. I don't remember specifically what was my first show, but I know I had my first show here when I was 19 and was already in love with it here. So from the time I was a teenager, just something about this place just drew me in. It's been one of my favorite rooms in Buffalo for 15 years.
Are there any shows that stand out to you, memories here that make you think of this place, or any shows that you've seen here that are some of your favorites?
As an attendee, my favorite was probably Faye Webster a couple years ago. Just an artist and a songwriter that I love. And being in the 9th Ward specifically is just one of my favorite places to be, because it makes you feel like you're right up close and personal, like almost in the artist's living room, getting inside the songs with them. So seeing an artist that I admire, Faye Webster, in that space was an amazing experience.
It's a very intimate experience in that part of the venue. Mm-hmm. Now, you said you performed here because you are a performer, you are an artist, and you said your first show was here when you were 19.
Yes.
And you continue to perform in the area.
I do, yeah. I've had a couple album releases held here. Played on Asbury Hall stage a couple times, but many shows in the 9th Ward. It's just one of my favorite places to perform.
So what did it feel like for you to be on this stage when you've seen performers here and you know the type of performers and the caliber that they get here?
It's so special, and it goes both ways of when you're an audience member here and you get to have that intimate experience with the performer. As the performer, it's the same to be able to have that intimate experience with your audience. Like the exchange of energy is so different in a space like that just feels good. Even in Asbury Hall, which is a bigger room, it still feels so intimate, and the energy exchange is amazing.
How would you explain the vibe of shows?
It's comfortable. It feels like you're experiencing something in the artist's home with them. It's a safe space. It's a comfortable space. It's intimate, even in the larger rooms. It's just very comfortable.
If you were to talk to somebody from outside the area that doesn't know about the venue or is considering coming to a show here or even visiting Buffalo for the music scene, what would you tell them?
That Asbury Arts Center is one of the places that you have to visit. It's so all-encompassing no matter what kind of show you want to go to, a bigger show at Asbury Hall, a smaller intimate show at the Ninth Ward, Hall Walls. There's so many different things to experience, but it's a must-stop place for the Buffalo music scene.
And you've also worked here. Did you say that you sold merch here at one time?
I have sold merch for a few shows for Mount Joy, yeah.
And what made you want to be a part of that behind the scenes?
I've always done a lot of things behind the scenes, whether it's production, stage crew, booking, merch. I just love to get involved on any level that I can. And, as an artist, it's nice to, be able to experience the show from that perspective as well.
And you're also involved in other things in Buffalo. You're involved in Music is Art. Mm-hmm. So you definitely pay attention to the fan experience.
I do.
As a fan, what is important to you and what is important that you get from Asbury Hall?
A lot of venues you walk in and it's intimidating. You don't know where to go. It's, the staff isn't friendly, and everyone here is so lovely. You're comfortable the second you walk in the door. It's always just an easy experience being here. The sound is gorgeous. Not every room sounds as beautiful as this one, so that's a big plus.
Well, thank you for sharing your experience with us and talking to us. And it's going to be fun to see you not only as a performer here, I'm sure you will be here again performing,
yes, for sure,
but around at the shows and to be able to be part of that community.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sara.
Thank you.
That wraps up this episode of Here Here. Be sure to check out more episodes on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Buffalo is a unique music destination, and we uncover it all on Here Here. This program is produced by Buffalo Toronto Public Media for Visit Buffalo Niagara. I'm Bentley. Thanks for listening.